Welcome back to Dead Man's Chest, where Will, Elizabeth, and Jack Sparrow come back with a vengeance.
Tell me, viewers at home, do you fear death?
Nice.
Ah! God!
I think yours is a lot better than mine.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Here's the first movie.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Peel that pig and slice him thick.
The body count is always bigger.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And the fucking trees walked in those movies.
Hi, doggy.
What a story, Mark.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Life moves pretty fast.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise.
37 dicks. In a row?
I'm your number one fan.
So, we're here. We're to the second one now. Mm-hmm. Dead Man's Chest.
We've made our voyage. We are now making port in Dead Man's Chest.
We sure are. We're making progress. Here.
That's right.
And honestly, I feel like we're cooking. We're cooking now, boy.
Yeah, we're cooking with fire. We're playing with fire, huh?
I liked this one.
He did! Guys, it's a miracle. He liked one of these movies.
A Pirates of the Caribbean movie that I liked.
What is it that has Jack spooked? How much do you know about Davey Jones?
You owe me your soul. And it's time to pay up.
If there was anything could be done. Well, there is a chest.
The dead man's chest.
To find it, you must sail to the end of the earth and beyond.
We have our heading.
Captain Sparrow!
Elizabeth, you know, these clothes do not flatter you at all. It should be a dress or nothing. I happen to have no dress in my cabin.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Right
okay.
away, like-
Okay, good. That makes me happy, because, like, this is a really solid sequel, honestly. A lot of people have the issues with it, and that's fine. Like, some people really fucking hate this movie.
Really?
It's just, because this one, a lot of people call bloated and unnecessary, or just, like, stupid. I really like this movie. I think it's almost as good as the original, in my opinion. It holds up so fucking well, and I just, it raises the stakes. It raises the stakes, expands on the lore, but not in a egregious way that the later films do, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair way of putting it. I pretty much could tell right away at the start that I was going to like this one a lot more.
Yeah?
Like, I think that immediately it introduces that we've got a darker sense in this world.
Oh, I loved that. Like, you know, the first one's like, you know, they keep things light for the most part. You know, they got some dark moments and all that, but this one, it just opens up with, you know, Will and Elizabeth's wedding just already ruined in the rain. They're getting arrested, and they're gonna they're gonna get hung, and it's like, bruh, this shit's going down.
A rainy wedding is a bad omen. Bad omen, as in, like, for the characters, not for us.
Oh yeah,
for us, good omen.
Yeah, it was a good omen because you quite liked this movie.
I really liked it. I liked this more. I liked this darker tone. It was a lot more gothic. Like, it felt like a gothic pirates movie.
Yeah.
I think that it's like, you know how to make correlation to, like, Harry Potter, you know how there's like the third Harry Potter almost feels like it goes into, like, genre film territory where it's almost a bit of a horror film.
Yeah.
That's what I felt almost happened here. Like, I went to a more sort of a horror aesthetic.
They took this movie into some scary places, especially for, like, a young child, with some of the imagery.
In the first, like, 3 minutes or something, a crow eats the eye out of a person in a cage.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. And then, like, you see, like, dudes getting, like, dragged and their feet are all, like, fucked. You know, they're black, bleeding. It's disgusting, and I love it.
Yeah.
They really set the tone. They waste no time in setting the tone for this movie.
There is, like, some pretty out there gore in this. Not like Lars von Trier, like, type of gore, but there was definitely noticeable gore that was absent in the first one, I thought. Like, was there much gore in the first one?
Not really. Like, there was, like, you know, a decent amount of blood. Like, you know, you see like the odd blood here and there. You saw like a bit of blood splatter. No, like blood pouring when Barbossa dies.
Oh yes, yeah.
And it's like, you know, they lingered on that shot for like 3 seconds. It was like, damn, Disney film showing blood. That's crazy.
Like skeletons are perfect kid movie villains that you can just like dispose of and like gruesomely kill as much as you want. Well, kill in any way that you want, and there's going to be no blood, no gore.
Yeah, precisely.
They can shatter. They can be crushed, and it doesn't matter because there's no gore.
They're not human. They don't have feelings. Fuck them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like it pleases the senses, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, man, freaking Jack Sparrow's intro is so badass.
That for me, it doesn't top the original, but it's pretty darn close. It's a really nice intro.
You said that like you liked the intro at of the first one because it like sort of subverts expectations.
Yeah,
I thought this really did as well.
Fair enough.
Like I loved it, but I think also because of the gothic element of it that he pretty much breaks out of a coffin that is floating at sea, correct?
Yeah.
So cool.
It doesn't feel like it doesn't like it's trying to do like a rehash of the first introduction scene, I feel. It's
completely
like,
original.
Yeah, it feels fresh.
Yeah.
And
I had a toy of this that I think I got from I had a toy of this that was a coffin with him that would it was like a remote control coffin.
Oh, yo, what?
That is so cool.
That exists?
One of my
What the
favorite
heck?
toys as a kid was a remote control coffin that would go around and there was a little button at the front of it. So then whenever it would crash into something, Jack Sparrow would pop out.
Oh, yo!
It was so cool.
What the hell?
I will see if I can get a photo of this.
Yeah, okay. I didn't even know this bloody thing existed. Jesus.
There was some cool merch. When this was at peak of popularity, I remember not being into the movies, but the merchandise
they
was
did
awesome.
have some cool merch, and it's cool merch. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Anyone? Come on, man. That was some pretty sick merch back in the day. What the fuck?
That was it, man.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. What the hell?
How cool! It may have even been from a Hungry Jack's or something like that.
It looks like a Hungry Jack's like a kid's meal toy from Hungry Jack's.
But it was such good quality. It was just fantastic quality, man.
Yeah, I think Hungry Jack's had a better lineup of toys from back in my day compared to Macca's.
Yeah, Hungry Jack's I think had good toy lineup. How dumb does that look?
Why do we, dude? He looks like a bloody orangutan with those arms, man. Oh my god.
Probably bad idea to be showing Kane photos of different Captain Jack Sparrow toys on a completely audio medium.
Oh my god.
But anyway, that toy was sick. Good memories with that.
That's pretty cool, and a cool toy, cool opening, cool introduction scene and all that, you know?
How you got a lot of nostalgia for the first film?
Yeah.
That was the major nostalgia that I got from this whole franchise, was going, I had a toy of that.
I love that. I fucking love that so much, man.
Oh, sick.
As much as I would love to talk about Jack Sparrow Pirates of the Caribbean toys. You gotta get back to the movies, man. And I want to know, apart from the darker tone and gothic nature of this film, why else did you like this movie a lot more than the first?
I thought the set pieces, huge highlight. The first film, the set pieces I thought were quite sort of generic, and maybe it was just also because it opened up with Pirates of the Cannibal Holocaust, this film, where they go, immediately they got stranded on the island, and then they were dealing with this cannibal cult sort of thing, which is a pretty non sequitur.
Oh yeah, no, it has no bearing on the plot whatsoever. I used to hate that scene when I was younger. I used to be like, "What's the point of it? It doesn't do anything."
It was my favorite part of the of the film. I loved it so much, and then also it's sort of it seems like that pretty much every film, every Pirates of the Caribbean film seem to be around third act, end of second act, start of third act, when they go to an island of some sort.
Yeah.
We're here, having at the start.
Yeah, no,
straight at the start.
Cool. And I will not say this is not my favorite set piece of the film. However, it's a lot of fun. It has no bearing on the plot, but it's It's just Jack Sparrow is on an island with cannibals, and they're going to eat him, and they think he's a god, and they're going to eat him, and he's got to escape. He's got this funny makeup on, and he's tied up, and he's doing jumping over cliffs with a piece of bamboo, with a piece of bamboo strapped to his back. He's like jumping across cliffs and all that. Like it's crazy shit. That's it's just a blast to watch.
For a kids movie too.
For a kids movie as well, yeah, it's crazy shit to watch, honestly.
The concept of a cannibal cult is like or like tribe. Cannibal tribe is more accurate.
That's more appropriate.
Is like pretty dark.
Oh yeah.
That is a very dark concept.
And also half the crew fucking dies because they're like in dangling cages, and like one of their cages just falls, the rope breaks, and they just fall to their death. And like that scene messed me up as a kid, man. That was the scary shit to me.
So why? So there are a couple different layers to why I like this a section so much.
Yeah.
First is it also expanded the Pirates universe. Like it felt like that it expanded it where it was something different. It was something totally different that we didn't even get any sort of like hint of in the first film.
Yeah, no exposition kind of shit. Yeah.
Which is the purpose of a sequel, correct? For something
to build on the
big
original.
like this, to build on the world that was created in the original, and that's what this did. And the island was a phenomenal location. So dense and colorful, so stimulating. That's why I loved it.
It didn't feel like it didn't feel like a film set, you know? It felt real.
Yes, it did.
You were there, you felt like you were there.
And like, gotta use this word, lush. It was so lush.
Oh, good word.
So that's why I really, really liked it. Pirates of the Cannibal Holocaust is my favorite part of this film.
It's pretty cool, honestly. Like I really like it.
Even like Jack's character design, I think, is mad
with the makeup,
with the multiple eyes.
That's pretty standout. Yeah, that's cool.
Like with the makeup of like the eye face paint on his eyelid, where then he opens his eye. Yeah. Oh, so it's so cool. Great introduction.
That reveal's really cool. And dude, can we just talk about like the ending of like that whole sequence where Jack's been the shot of like Jack running from the corner, and then just the entire tribe chasing him. That is like an iconic shot right there. That 100%. Is like on the back of I'm pretty sure that's on the back of the Dead Man's Chest DVD. And
it should be.
It's a gorgeous shot, you know?
Yeah.
Really gets the blood pumping, you know?
Like, this showed me that it was also, like, even though that it was darker, it was more playful than the first movie, I think. I think it, like, took the gothic tone, but then, like, was more playful and took itself less seriously.
Yeah.
Where like, this tribal chase scene is just so much fun.
Yeah.
It's, I think, like, has really good physical comedy. It's really out there and original. It's really creative. It's creative with the aesthetics.
Yeah.
And that is why I loved it so much. I think I've only seen like a similar sort of like
in the original Cannibal Holocaust, I've seen a similar scene.
Like I've only seen like a before like a sort of like tribal conflict with pirates in like cartoons or something.
Yeah, where I can't think of an example, but yeah,
me neither. But so good.
It honestly kind of reminded me a little bit of like especially like the ending chase and all that where Jack's runs to the ship. It reminds me of like the ending, like the chase in Indiana Jones, in the first Indiana Jones movie where he's getting chased by the tribesmen, and then there's that like shot of Indy running, and it's like they're playing the theme song, and it's like, whoa, this is crazy. And it's like I like to think that's like the cannibal scene, the ending of the cannibals like sequence is an homage to Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I appreciate. I appreciate that.
It reeled me in, man. It reeled me in to not just the movie, but I think also the franchise. Yeah. I became a lot more open to what I was watching past that point, and I had a much more enjoyable time because of it.
You were more willing to embrace the madness.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it, yeah. And in this one, it's, I think, the first one as well where we get, like, the big, bad English villain.
English villain, bro. He's a fucking anime villain, man. Fucking Lord Beckett. Oh my, I love him. He's so goofy. I love it.
I love, like, he's in one of the first scenes, right, at the wedding, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those villain introductions where after a second of, it's not even like the technical ways of, like the technical portrayal of him, but how he acts is just like, oh, okay, this is a villain.
You know he's a bad guy. Like, come on, he's introducing the bloody rain, and everyone's all miserable, and he's just like, I think the establishing shot of him is like him facing like the ocean and all that, while like he's got his back to the camera, and it's like, and then someone's, I think, taking his coat off, and it's like, bruh, okay, yeah, this man, I wonder if this man's a bad man, like, come on.
So direct that it's like, yep, this guy's bad.
I mean, hell, his name's Cutler Beckett. That sounds that just sounds like a villainous name.
It does, yeah.
But I call him an anime villain just because, he speaks so evilly.
It is so over the top.
Exactly.
How evil he is.
Exactly. Like, yeah, he's just an anime villain just because, like, he's so unsubtle about how evil he is. Oh, don't get me started on his bloody henchman. I don't remember what his name was, but he had like that henchman, like the very mean looking guy.
Oh yeah.
He looked like he had killed, like he looked like a hitman, kind of like a British hitman who like just killed people and all that. Like he just, oh man, he looked like a rude boy, I'll say.
I think that I tuned out during a lot of their scenes because it was just like I think that a consistent thing throughout the entire franchise is whenever like the whole like British army stuff is going on, you just sort of go, this isn't what I want to see.
Oh, no one wants to see it.
Yeah.
I also don't want to see it, but, I have a soft spot for Beckett, so, I let it slide at least.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, especially, after seeing how the British act in the later films, I have a lot more respect for it the early ones.
They're the straight party, in contrast to the pirates' rugged and offbeat nature.
Yeah.
Where,
like, no one wants to see that.
Where Jack opens the movie abusing animals. He loves to abuse animals. He, like, shoots a crow just for no reason, kills a crow.
He threatens the parrot.
Yeah, he threatens the parrot. He also, like, I think kicks the monkey as well.
I don't remember if he kicks the monkey. I know he shoots
it.
He
shoots the monkey.
He shoots it like halfway through the film when they go to Rihanna's house.
Yes, yeah. When they go to Rihanna's house. I love that sort of swamp aesthetic as well.
Oh, yeah.
An interesting, different environment that we don't see in the first film.
It's very cool, yeah. And,
he's not a big fan of animals, so Peter is going to not be big fan of pirates.
No, but
Peter for pirates.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I'm sure the pirates probably have some other matters to worry about, but maybe they don't. I think Peter might be, apart from the British, I think Peter is like their worst enemy. I
think that they should have had like at the climax where it's all these different ships fighting each other, where it's like the British ship, the Jack Sparrow's ship, and then also the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
It should have also been like a ship that just comes out of nowhere that's like the animal rights ship. We are taking over your ship.
Paul McCartney's just on the ship.
Yeah.
So, like, stop eating the animals, and let me tell you how I wrote Let It Be. And then he just gets fucking cannibalized. Oh, man, Jesus.
I think that Elizabeth is a lot more engaging in this one than the first one.
Yeah?
I think that she
has more to do, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she has more to do. She develops her own agency.
Yeah.
Where in the first one, it's a lot more just like she's there, damsel in distress type character.
Yeah, literally. Like, she goes her own way in this movie. Like, she's doing shit on her own. She's on her own for like a lot of the movie, and she's, doing shit. Not needing Will or fucking Jack Sparrow to save her ass constantly.
It's a more realistic agency as well, where she's actually just like doing things to fulfill her own power.
Yeah.
Instead of just like where it goes a bit too off the rails in the next one with her how she becomes powerful, and it's like, oh my god, so forced.
Yeah, they have a nice, I think they did a nice balance with making her still kind of an everyman, but like showing her to be more capable and more of a badass in this movie.
It's sort of like that agency that it's like, every woman or every person can like make their own take charge of their own life,
exactly,
sort of thing.
Make their own destiny kind
of shit. Fulfill, make their own destiny. Very good point.
It's good.
And also, true sign of respect is getting a toe necklace that
oh yes,
good old Jack got.
Jack. I for some reason I was just thinking of Elizabeth wearing the toe necklace, and I was like, oh, I don't remember that scene.
No.
Yeah. No, Jack gets the toe necklace in the cannibal scene, and then he like chews on the toenail, spits it out respectfully. That's pretty fucked actually. That like there's just severed toes in this movie. It's
pretty graphic.
Yeah.
It's a pretty graphic necklace.
Like, Gore Verbinski, what we, you got some, did you get Quentin Tarantino to help out with that scene, did you, mate? Like, what are you doing?
Man, it would be so hard to direct a film like this that is just so grand and giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be so difficult, especially too that a lot of it would be special effects. So it's like, what am I actually, because when you're a director, you're like the person that's in charge of how it's going to look and feel, and you're like directing these people to do these sort of things in these environments, but you're still not sure what it's going to look like.
Precisely. Yeah. I don't envy directors of big budgets, epics and all that.
Yeah.
I don't envy them, honestly.
He I think directs in a very, very clever and effective way the horror of the sea. Like, he recreates horror of the sea extraordinarily.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Yes.
With just the build up of how terrifying this vast ocean is.
I know, and then just like them introducing the idea of just giant Leviathan, bloody fucking what's the guy?
Flying Dutchman?
No. Like what's the author? Like an H.P. Lovecraft, like a Lovecraftian beast. This gigantic Leviathan beast, the Kraken. The idea that these things exist.
Yeah.
Which just elevates the horror of the open sea, as you said.
Yeah.
And that's just That's just crazy to me, honestly.
And even with like Davey Jones and the Flying Dutchman, with that introduction, it is sort of that suggestion that like there's so much awful, horrible things out there.
Yeah,
that's hidden. That could come out of nowhere.
You have no idea what is out there and how bad it gets.
And this Davey Jones introduction specifically, I think, is done masterfully.
Oh, yeah.
In a way that, like, everyone recounts the Jared Leto... No, not Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. Jared Leto Joker.
Yeah, the Heath Ledger Joker introduction and how that's done expertly.
Yeah.
With, like, the slow burn of just, like, character dialogue talking about him and little hints to what they're actually like. And Davey Jones, I think, is presented in a similar way. Like, he is not shown until quite far into the movie.
They wait till like basically like like a little bit to the halfway point.
Yeah, like it's about halfway.
Yeah.
And they speak about him a little bit. They sort of like talk about the tale and the legend that is Davey Jones.
Yeah.
Which then gives him this ominous identity.
Yeah.
And then when they do build up to him, because it's got all that tension built, every scene that he is in, he has so much gravity.
Oh my god, yes.
So much weight. Everything that he does says so much freaking weight.
I think it's a tribute to the like outstanding special effects for his design. Like, he looks fucking scary in this. Like, in this movie especially, he looks fucking scary in this. He looks off-putting, and just like, you would, if you saw this man, you would fear. Like, you do fear him. You are terrified. And also, like, I gotta give props to Bill Nye's performance, not the science guy, the
other Bill Nye,
the British guy.
Yeah, Bill Nye, the British guy.
Bill Nye, the British guy. No, but like, Bill Nye's performance is just, it's haunting. It's like haunting, but you get like a little bit of that over the top nature that Jeffrey Rush had. Like, he's playing into more like the sillier side of the role, but not like, only slightly, like, you know, making it kind of giving him a little bit more character than just, you know, this evil, macabre presence, you know what I mean?
And where I said that I wasn't really the biggest fan, or I wasn't that impressed by the special effects of the first one, I was impressed here.
Oh, yeah,
It did have $225 million this time, instead of 140, so they got a good almost 100 mil extra this time.
Yeah, and also like technology furthering itself in like the span of
just technological development.
3 years, yeah.
Where, like, I think that, like, of course, I'm impressed by Davey Jones, but Davey Jones's crew, that is what I was very impressed by.
A problem that I have with like the skeleton crew is like, Barbossa, like, especially Barbossa looks great, and then the skeleton crew, they look fine, but it's like, you know, they put more of the detail into Barbossa. With this, they put a lot of detail into Davey Jones, but you could tell a lot of love and care was put into the fish crew. Like, all of them are just these ungodly combinations of man and sea creature. Like, when you first see
man and sea.
Like, like, even before David Jones is introduced, when you're first introduced to Bootstrap Bill, and how he's just like this, he's got like all these barnacles on his face. He has a starfish stuck to his cheek. He's like leaking water out of his mouth. And he's like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
Yeah.
And that's like that kind of builds up the whole like mystery and fear of what the hell is, or like what is this Davey Jones capable of? What if he's like this? If Bootstrap Bill's like this, what is the rest of the crew like? What is the rest of the Flying Dutchman gonna do?
It plants the seed very well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Of like the horrors of what is potentially out there.
Oh yeah, and just the fish crew look great. Like effects wise, they just look so good,
and they've got so much variety.
Yeah,
like, each one you can tell the personality put into their aesthetic.
Definitely.
There was this one that also like. One, there was a highlight to me that was just sort of like almost hidden, and I only saw in the background, there was one like creature that was like a man's body that had like an eel going through his stomach.
That
I only saw in the background in a couple of shots, and the detail and intricacy put into that for a background character just to flesh out the ship, because they had to do an entire crew and they didn't want to repeat the same thing where the skeletons are just carbon copies of one another.
It's easy to reply to like for skeletons and all that. No one's gonna really notice. Oh, just my fucking notifications are going off. Let me turn that off.
You're right.
Because you're gonna easily notice if you're duplicating. Like they could, like if they're duplicating fish people, and like they could have done that, but they didn't. And I for one really appreciate that they took the time and care to give all these crew members a distinct look, a distinct personality, even if it's just for a few seconds in a background shot. Really appreciate that.
And what they nail is the texture. The texture, which would be one of the hardest things to nail for special effects, because you're not just trying to get something to look like something, you're trying to get something to feel like something, like look like it feels like something. And that is extremely impressive.
They look like they smell like shit. They feel they look like they feel just gooey, slimy, just unpleasant.
Or like rigid. Some of them with shells
rigid,
connected,
spiky, just like unpleasant. Like they all just look and feel unpleasant.
Yes,
exactly. In the best way possible. Like my goodness,
could not have been more expertly done.
Amazing, and also just the design. Can I just say the design of the ship? Like it's just really cool. Like come on, man. Like it's just so fucking cool. I feel like they never really topped like the ship designs in these movies apart like post Flying Dutchman. Like Black Pearl obviously is, it looks cool. It's a typical pirate ship, and then Flying Dutchman is like this just mossy, disgusting, barnacle ridden ghost ship kind of almost. It looks like how like the front of the ship has like these just jagged wooden teeth. It looks like a wooden beast almost.
Every kid that was into Lego or Mega Bloks or whatever that like would get pirate ships or would be interested in getting a pirate ship, nobody wanted the normal pirate ship or like desired it anywhere near as badly as the desire for the villain's pirate ship. The ghost ship or the skeleton ship, or just that sort of villain ship aesthetic is so much more endearing.
Oh yeah, the villain aesthetics in films, especially in big franchise films, they're always more visually appealing, like I feel. More
interesting and very different.
Yeah, visually appealing, interesting, and different.
Yeah, like the pirate crew fulfill a stereotype that we all know and like know and love, but just something that we already get, and we have like, even though we don't see it too much in film, like we see it in every other media form and costume parties and everything.
It's like it's fine, but we want something a bit. Give us something a bit more. Give us something a bit different.
It's working with the base of pirate hood or like pirate world and expanding on the aesthetic and the potential that's there, which is just so interesting.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and man, this freaking octopus head, man. So good.
And great.
And there's so much like there's a very suspenseful scene where I think it's Will trying to get the key from him.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Dude, the sneaking up on him as he's asleep and having to get it out from like under his tentacle beard. So great.
It's some good. It was some good tension right in that scene right there. I'll tell you what.
Because the stakes are very high as well. There, like it's like if like it's you're betting not just your life but like eternity with him. And serving under him it's so good. Very well created.
It's just with the plot in this movie and like Davey Jones is like how he kind of ties into the plot. I think it's just, it really it's a story with more higher stakes, especially for like, you know, like not Rose, fuck, I'm thinking of Titanic.
Elizabeth?
Will and Elizabeth, yeah, because like, you know, they've been sentenced to prison, and like, you know, Will leaves to go find Jack, and then like Elizabeth is broken out, and then like, you know, she's trying to do her things to like help, you know, clear Will's name and her name, and you know, there's high stakes there, and it's like, you know, they're I think because they were off doing their own things, it makes them kind of stronger characters because they're independent rather than like doing like the whole like damsel in distress kind of saving each other kind of thing. Like, yeah, they're saving each other technically speaking, but like they don't know that the other is off doing their own thing, on their own adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like, and it comes to a head, correct, where it's like they're both doing their own thing, they have their own sort of storylines that then diverge.
And then it converges.
Converge.
When they find the chest.
Yes.
The dead man's chest. And
which I think is just, I think endearing, an engaging way to tell a story is when you have these multiple storylines that all come together at the end when it should, and then that's what makes a climax. It's like the bang of these multiple storylines come to a head.
Also, it's just you really get a feel for Jack's kind of like a sense of vulnerability for Jack, since he, you know, is being hunted by Davey Jones, and you can tell he is terrified of the idea of either serving under him or being taken by the Kraken. Like, and that's like an idea that like follows, and that's like a thing that follows him throughout the whole film. Always avoiding like, you know, open ocean and making up any excuse he can to, you know, not settle the debt, not like actually pay the debt, like even like selling out Will and being given 3 days to give Davey Jones 100 souls, basically just condemning 100 men to death. And it's just, it's an interesting kind of moral dilemma for Jack. Like, yeah, like, you know, like, he doesn't care, obviously. He doesn't care because it's Jack, but you do sense that, like, he's doing it kind of out of a sense of desperation, not out of a sense of, like, cruelty.
Being awful.
Being an awful person.
Cruelty,
yeah. Which I really appreciate. Like, I really like Jack's kind of story in this one. I really enjoy it, honestly.
Like, everyone has their own distinct motives in this, where you don't feel that as much in the first one. It just feels like from A to B.
Like, yeah, the first one's very, like I said, it's like, it's simplistic. Like, it's doing what it's doing, not the bare minimum, but it's like, They're not really going outside the box. They're more so just trying to tell the typical kind of hero's tale with these characters. Meanwhile, with this one, they're kind of more willing to kind of try kind of different things with these established characters. Like, yeah, we've established the characters. Now let's do something different with them. Like, let's see where we can take these characters. I just dropped my phone. Oh dear.
Like, this movie knows how to do a set piece. And this is pretty much every set piece I think hits and is unique.
Oh, yeah.
And like the introduction of the Kraken, I'm quite sure, is with the Spanish ship.
Yeah. And like you don't even see like the Kraken really. Like, it just sucks the ship in without showing anything.
It's extremely suspenseful, and it gives you just enough of that whole hiding the villain, which so many movies don't do. Is like hiding the villain until later and just giving you a taste of the danger.
Yeah.
They give you the danger instead of the culprit of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And this freaking Kraken is just excellent scale.
Oh my god, terrifying.
It's massive, it's larger than life, and terrifying.
Yeah.
And really goes to that whole like what is terrifying about the ocean is how large and open and unknown it is. This Kraken is large and unknowing, and you don't like it, and hidden, and you can't control its presence. It's
when I was
phenomenal.
a kid, I was convinced the Kraken was real the first time I watched this movie.
Oh no!
Because like I was already not the biggest fan of the ocean, just because like drowning. But like then the idea of like these giant leviathans hidden in the deep is like, yeah, I'm staying away from the ocean. Like obviously I don't believe in the Kraken anymore. Although do I? You never know. Like the ocean is technically unexplored. There could be a Kraken lying in wait somewhere down
there could
below.
Be.
But no, but just. Like the first destruction scene with the Kraken, where like extended destruction scene with the Kraken, where Will is on the British ship and like you see the tentacles like ripping the ship apart for the first time. That is just like on on the edge of your seat terror right there. Like, you know Will's not going to die, but just seeing what it shows what the Kraken is capable of in a more visually stimulating aspect, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, you know, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, the Kraken's if the Kraken's, like, so powerful, why doesn't it just destroy the ship straight away? Why is it going to take its time? It's like, shut up, just look at the cool tentacles destroying the ship. Listen to the cool rock infused music, like electric guitar infused music while it's destroying the ship. Just look at this gorgeous scene where it slaps its two tentacles, slapping the ship in half with organ music playing. I don't even know how to really word it, honestly. It's just terrifyingly amazing.
Like, this isn't to trigger you, but you know, right, that colossal squid exists?
Oh,
like
yeah. I know a colossal squid.
Oh, so interesting.
To trigger me.
Yeah. Like, how fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Man, they're taking us back to Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
Yeah.
But how amazing would it be to see one of those things?
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
No, it wouldn't. I don't want to see one of those
disagree.
things. I want to see a dead one.
I'm pretty sure that they have one at, like, the Melbourne Museum, and, like, you know that little tank that it's dead.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, it's like in like a little.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little tank thing.
I haven't been to the Melbourne Museum in a while. Yeah.
But it's all like rotten, sort of, because
hell yeah.
According to Google, they do not preserve well.
Oh, well, you know, seafood smells, you know.
Yeah, but even just like staying as one shape, it doesn't really work that well with them, apparently.
Love that. They kill my boy Squidward and they just lock him in a cage. They lock his corpse in a cage. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, upsetting.
I know, terrible.
Yeah, but they're very, very cool.
Yeah.
I think just something about squid and octopi.
There we go.
I love. I think
they are pretty sick.
I think it's just because they're like such a unique animal that also, like, try and think of a land equivalent to that, to a creature that looks like that.
You can't really think of anything, like, honestly, like, you know, yeah, you could think spider because 8 limbs, but, like, you know, they don't have, but, like, tentacles, they're cooler.
Yeah, I more see, like, the crabs as, like, spiders of the sea.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But far less scary than spiders for some reason.
I don't like crabs. They do the pinch. I don't like.
Oh,
that.
you know the big spider crabs, right?
Oh, the Japanese. Oh, yeah. Those things are crazy, man.
Yeah, they are crazy.
Those things are also kind of scary as well. But that's more so like a megalophobia type thing, where it's like, you know, you see some, like, cause, you know, megalophobia, you see something large and it's like, whoa, like, it kind of like puts a pit in your stomach. It's like.
Yeah.
It's like, you see, like, there's a scene where, like, the black pearl's beached on the Cannibal Island, and you just see how huge it is, like, because, you know, you don't see the bottom part of the ship because it's underwater, and you see how really big this thing is, and it's like, whoa.
It's a big ship.
That's pretty crazy to look at, and it's like, yeah, same with the Japanese spider crab, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with some other set pieces that are iconic as hell, like the 3-way sword fight on the water wheel, like
the water wheel,
yeah. Oh my god, so much fun.
Yeah,
and so it feels original.
It's visually appealing, like with the camera movements, how it'll sometimes like follow the character's perspective as they're going upside down, and that's just really fucking creative, honestly.
It's exciting.
It's
really exciting.
Yeah, the stakes are high because, like, everyone wants the key to the chest for their own personal gain. Norrington wants it to, you know, get his life back since... Oh, yeah, Norrington's in this film as well, by the way, who also... Thank you. He ditched his wig. Grad a beard. It looked very sexy in this movie.
I think far more interesting his pirate version.
Oh, yes, definitely. They ruin it in the third one, but, you know, we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
Like,
this wheel scene is, like, another one of those things that I knew about before going into this. Like, it's one of those iconic moments of cinema.
Yeah, they made a Lego set of it, so, yeah, iconic.
And it's a Lego set that everyone wanted as well. Yeah, the interactive element of that. And yeah, also another great example of, like, I think that Captain Jack Sparrow really shows his ditziness in all these set pieces really well. Yeah. In, like, a way where it isn't like, look how epic he is. Yeah. Like, it's still like, yeah, he's goofy and he's not like he's mainly getting through, just scraping by on luck.
But then again, it's like, they don't, it's good that they're not doing like the whole like, look how badass he is, but showing his ditzy side. But also, thank God that they don't play too much into the ditzy side, where you just think like, what a fucking dumbass! Like, Jesus Christ, how has he lived this long, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like the like, how has he lived? He keeps on getting lucky and lucky.
I feel like, I'll just say this for the later films, but like that whole shtick, it's so old for me in the later films.
Okay.
The whole like, I feel like you get less of the badass thing and more of the ditzy side, but the ditzy side becomes too much, and then the badass thing, whenever they try to do that, it's cringe-inducing, but we will get to it when we get to it.
I went out for drinks with Jacob and Tinker the other day, and Jacob was trying to convince me that everyone gets 1 year of their life where they're lucky.
Yeah,
where they're just extremely lucky, and that just is how life works.
Yeah, you reckon?
So I don't know. I can't say that I'm like that. I subscribe to that.
Jacob, if you're listening, do you reckon?
Do you?
Do you? Anyways, go on.
So maybe like, what is the span of like all the years that like this whole franchise goes over?
Oh, it's got to go over like quite a few years, because like like sea travel back in the piracy age, that takes a long time.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah.
So then what I was about to say, which is maybe Captain Jack Sparrow is just having his lucky year, wouldn't work because it's years and years and years.
No.
When you think about it too, Will and Elizabeth meet at the first one, and then later on in the fifth one, there's their son who is like a adult.
Yeah.
So it has to at least be like 17 to 18 years.
Oh yeah.
Like throughout the entire thing, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And like, and then you also got to keep in mind with like time jumps in between all the films as well. Like at the end of this film, and then at World's End, I'm pretty sure it's like a while at least.
Okay, let's scrap that theory. It's not a lucky year; it's a lucky lifetime for this man.
Yeah, he was just born, and God was like, yeah, you're all right. You're gonna just be the luckiest kind ever.
Yeah.
Go, fly, little sparrow, fly, and that's how he got the name Jack Sparrow.
Yes, that's how he could fly.
Yeah.
And then that leads to like the climax of the film, the three-way battle between three ships, which is just phenomenal. Best climax.
Three-way battle between three ships?
Isn't it?
No, that's what?
Isn't it a three-way battle?
There was a brief battle, I think, between the Dutchman and the Black Pearl, but then like
Dutchman, Black Pearl, and then isn't there the English ship too?
No, the English ship didn't attack them though, did it? No, I think that's the third film.
Okay, I could be wrong.
Yeah, you're thinking of the third film.
I'm a novice.
The climax of this one is the Kraken destroy. Like most of the climax is the Kraken fucking the ship.
True.
Yeah, like I'm pretty.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you're thinking of that World's End. Don't worry, Rhys. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that film classic.
Well, I remember just loving this climax and it being one of the best ones, where it also feels like the stakes are the highest and marvelous.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's chaotic, really. Like, yeah, you get a sense of chaos and horror in this when, like, the first one's like, fun, it's a fun little epic sword fight, something that get the kids all riled up and all that. Look at Jack doing these epic sword tricks. Look at Barbossa. Oh, that Barbossa, I hope he gets his due. And then this one, it's like, oh fuck, we gotta do something or else we're gonna get fucked by these tentacles, man. This squid's
my God.
This squid is gonna ruin our day. I'll tell you what.
He's gonna do some things.
He's gonna do some bad things, very bad Japanese things.
But then it ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah. This film ends on a cliffhanger.
I was not expecting this at all, and I was annoyed. That is my least favorite thing about this film, is that it's a pretty long film with no payoff.
Yeah.
With no payoff, because it's like, when I sit through almost 3 hours of something, I feel like that I want that to be its own self-contained thing instead of a prerequisite for the next thing.
Yeah, they really wanted to really up the grandiose aspect by having this kind of be like, it's like having this be like a two-parter kind of thing
to build up.
And I'll say this at least, that I do like kind of how they kind of somewhat wrap up Jack's story arc in this film of how, he's like scared to kind of face his demons, like bite the bullet, so to speak, with the debt and the fellow beastie, the Kraken. And, obviously, like, there's the scene where he ditches the Black Pearl when it's under attack, but then he decides, no, I need to come back. I need to save the day. And then, obviously, he finally confronts the Kraken and, he, quote-unquote, dies and all that. Obviously, it was kind of forced upon it as, Elizabeth chains him up to the ship in a very interesting way. Rhys?
Interesting way that he changed.
Where like, she fucking makes out with him and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
what was
it's like, well, she did it to, like, distract him, pin him up against the wall, chain him up. But it's like...
Oh, yes. So this is where Will then gets sees it happening.
Yeah, Will sees himself getting cucked,
Yeah.
And then, proceeds...
And doesn't say anything. Well,
proceeds to not tell her,
No. Elizabeth not telling him.
Yeah.
Like, just being like... Yeah, nothing just happened. No, you like, everyone was pretty close by.
And Will should have at least said something. I feel like Will should have at least said something as well. Like, both of them just, like, needed to just talk this out. We will get into that next episode.
It would have just, like, been solved by just one of them saying something.
Yeah.
And then
oh, yeah, literally. And that drags the third film out so fucking much. All the goodwill that I had for Elizabeth and Will down the toilet in the third film.
Yeah.
Because of stupid shit like that. But no, like...
meanders.
Yeah, literally. Perfect way of putting it. But no, like, Jack Sparrow's thing kind of being wrapped up. It did it nicely, I reckon. Very true to his character arc in this movie.
I wonder if people watching this film, Dead Man's Chest, in the year that it came out, them going, oh my god, I wonder if Jack Sparrow is actually dead.
Oh my god.
I wonder if he's gone.
For a fact, some people were genuinely believing that he was dead.
Yeah, like at the end of Infinity War, people being like, they're all gone.
Oh my god, Spider-Man's dead. What?
There's never going to be another Spider-Man thing ever again now.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Like, come on, bro. Ay.
So I've got to be honest, my sort of final remarks on this film is that I loved it.
Yeah.
First 50 minutes, loved.
Yeah.
I adored. I had a hell of a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they got sort of off the island, I was like engaged, but I wasn't having the best time. But then, Davey Jones came into it, and then again, heightened. I was just like in awe of all the build-up and suspense that existed there. And then I was loving it, and then blue-balled at the end. Right at the end, I was blue-balled.
Yeah.
Why is there no payoff for this film?
Because they needed to, really amp the audience up. They need to amp the audience up for the third one. That's literally my only reasoning I can think of. It's ridiculous. I fucking hate those like to be continued things when it's like it doesn't feel necessary. Like it's like Disney thought it was necessary because more money, more butts in the seats. So they'll be like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to Jack and friends? Oh my goodness. Oh, I want to see that Davey Jones get defeated. Oh my goodness.
I felt blue-balled by, we started watching the third movie about 7 minutes after the second movie finished, and I felt blue-balled. There were people that would have watched the Pirates of the Caribbean 2 in 2006 and then had to wait freaking 2 years? Had to wait
1 year.
Oh yeah, 2007.
Yeah.
Still wait an entire year to get their satisfying ending.
Yeah,
I would have been livid, especially too if I'm trying to picture that I am present at this age in the year of 2003, watching the first movie and going, oh, I don't really like this. And the second one comes out, I get dragged to it because, I don't know, other people are like, hey, come see this. And then I like it, really, really enjoy it. And then at the end, I get blue-balled. Yeah. And I'm like, what? We'll finish
the rest. We'll finish the rest of it next year. Fuck you.
This actually got me and reeled me in and then just let me drown.
Yeah, I feel like I was thinking of this before when you were describing your feelings on the film, how, you had a high point with the island, then you were kind of like, a bit down, but then bit ups and downs with the film. You were like a boat, ups and downs on the waves, and then just calm ocean, just nothing but calm, just blue balls, just flat, nothing to represent your feelings with the ending of the film. Flat, nothingness. blueballed even, because now there's no current, no ways. They can't take you to Tortuga where you can go find some fancy wenches. You know what I mean? Sorry, fancy wenches. Savvy?
You're very right there, man.
Yeah,
that's a good metaphor.
I kind of fumbled a little bit, but I feel like the point was made.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest turned me into a ship going on the uncontrollable waves of the blue ocean.
Beautiful way of putting it.
And what did you think? What's your take on this film?
Well, before that, I just want to quickly say that we didn't give a shout out to the music in the first movie. We didn't really shout out. I mean, we don't need to shout out like the music. The music we know is in the first one is good. The main Jack Sparrow theme. I'm not even going to bother singing it. You get it.
Far better than the other the previous attempts.
The other one was a bit butchered. You know what I mean? But obviously, music in the first one is good. I feel the music in this one, certain pieces are better than the first movie, especially with Davey Jones. Like Davey Jones's theme, I'm not going to sing it. Fuck no. But Davey Jones's theme with the incorporation of like an organ and the music box that plays a bigger part in terms of the music and like Davey Jones's character in the third film, like is beautiful and has that gothic feel with the organ music, especially with the organs. And yeah, I don't know, it's just the music in this, it tried some different things with horror and like this gothic dramatic build. Yeah. Like that's a good way of putting. Like that's a way I can think of putting it. Yeah.
Like I think that the soundtrack was almost like seamless in just like, I think that in building suspense, all the elements have to be seamless, right? Because that's how you get immersed. That's how threat is sort of built up.
Yeah.
So with like the soundtrack, it was just like seamlessly marvelous in creating a vibe and creating power.
Definitely. Without it like kind of feeling unneeded or like clashing with like the other tones of the film and like the music and all that, what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no clash.
Like the organ music doesn't feel like out of place,
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, it doesn't feel out of place, but especially because these villains are fucking horrifying. So you need some like horror adjacent kind of music to really sell these characters. You know what I mean? But also have a sense of this. What's it called? I think there's a sense of somber. Like a sense of sorrow in the music with the organ, with David Jones's character, which is elaborated on in the third film. But you can tell there is this this hidden layer of sorrow with David Jones.
It's always a great idea to give your villain an organ because it makes them seem more impressive and threatening by just the ability to play the organ, especially this one that could play the organ with his beard. So that's always a pretty good effort.
I've tried doing that more than I care to admit, but the beard's not long enough yet. Is my excuse.
Yeah,
beard's not long enough to play with the organ. I'll get there.
Give it a couple more months of not shaving, and you could get there, man.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And then also you can have that as the word. What's that word of like audio that exists within the world?
Is it diegetic or
non-diegetic? Yeah, it's diegetic.
Yeah, diegetic.
So it exists there and is threatening as hell.
Oh yeah, threatening as hell. God, that sounds so lame. Sound like a 10-year-old being like, "Oh, I'm gonna say hell because that's a bad word, but I don't want my parents hearing."
You don't want people to hear me say that.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna get in trouble now. Jeez.
Okay.
Censors on us.
So I think that's all that has to be said about this movie. It was fun time. And And okay, so I'm gonna be putting myself into the. This is the perspective that I have if we had just finished watching this and I'd not seen any of the others. I would go, I can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah. No. Look. Yeah. One thing that it does really well in terms of like the Blue Balls ending is that it amps you up for the third one. It's like what? It's like I can't. Yeah. Like you said, I can't wait to see what happens next.
I can't wait to see what's next. And
it's something else. The third one, I'll tell you what.
We'll see what comes up.
Yeah, it's something else. Yeah.
But we will leave you for the week. Enjoy. Have a lovely one. And
did I end up giving my like final thoughts on the Dead Man's Chest, or do you think I kind of really already kind of express what I needed to say.
I asked you about it, so I don't know. Did you? Did you say everything that you needed to say?
I feel like I said everything I needed to say. Like, yeah, it's a sequel that did an outstanding job in expanding on the original, upping the stakes, upping the set pieces, and just a great time. It's a great time on the open seas.
Sick. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page at MarathonMeOfficial, all one word, and our Instagram, MarathonMe_official, to keep up to date on the podcast. And hey, if you want to get into contact with us, email us at marathonmepodc, yes, the letter C, @gmail.com. Like podcast without the ask.